Hi guys, welcome back to my XPS guide. Now I'm gonna review Kaktiria. This review will be unpopular because I will probably say some bad things about her. So don't get me wrong, she is great, but I feel Gumi holding back too much on her. So let's start with her stats. Her normal and brave shape are totally different. In her normal form, she is a support and breaker. So lacking magic stats is not a huge deal for her. However, one thing that really annoys me is as a support, she should have something like faster LBV rate or limit burst regen, but she doesn't have any of that. Sure, she has that 50% physical evasion and 30% magic evasion, but I find her health is kinda low, only 20% boost on health. Luckily, that's compensated by a nice amount of defense and spirit boost. Minus 100% chance of being targeted is also nice, but I prefer fatal damage protection. For Brave Shift form, I have nothing to complain about. She has nice magic boost, especially when she equips Fist. The most important thing is she has plus 200% change modifier cap when dual wield, and maximum true dual wield magic stats. She also has 2 killers, Beast and Demon, but they are only 100%. Overall, great, but nothing mind-breaking about Brave Shift form. That's all for her stats. Now let's talk about the normal form. On normal form, she is breaker and support. For support, I can say that she is pretty decent at the start of battle because she is able to give your party 200% defense and spirit. She also has 200% attack and magic boost, but they come from magic, so you cannot combine them with your defensive buffs from your abilities. However, offensive buffs are not that important since most DPS are already able to do that by themselves. But if you need it, you can grant 300% attack magic and 150% limit burst damage to one ally, which is great. Her grenades are also decent. She has access to 135% water and earth impaler, 5% better than the meta number. Also, imbuing those elements to all allies, so this is great setup for dark vision. However, she doesn't have that precious general mitigation and elements resist buff. For general mitigation, it is not a problem because the meta number at this point is 70% and only 2 characters which has access to it: Eric Brothers and Neo Vision Awakened Patrix. She also has access to 300% defense and spirit buff through her limit burst, so I can say her support capabilities are nice. I can say maybe 8 out of 10. Now, for breaks, the instant spammable break is limited to 80%, which is not bad, but I really wish she had 85% break since this only affects single target. She has Granny's ability which break one stats by 87%, but they can only be used once and again only single target and only last 3 turns. I think this is only useful for dark vision. On dark vision, 1 turn kill setup, you can use single 87% on defense or break, and then use Sacred Oasis or Hallowed Desert for for 135% imperil and imbue the element. Finally, Barb boost for 300% attack magic buff. For trial battle, what you want to rely on is her limit burst. Her limit burst is great because you can easily maintain 87% breaks, assuming you don't need to dispel the break. Once you have like 12 limit burst crystals regen per turn and max this limit burst, you can cast it every 5 turns without any problem. So yes, make sure you level it up at least to level 30. Faster ability rate passive is also good since it will give you little flexibility if you need to dispel the enemy. Also, don't forget that this limit burst also gives all allies 300% defense spirit buff and 103% imperil to the enemies. So far, this normal form doesn't have any big issue. So I can say this normal form score, I can say 9.5 out of 10, okay, very good. And yes, if you say, oh, I already have 85% breaker, do I need 87%? I cannot say that for sure, but for defense and spirit break, your damage output will be like 20% better. So I can say it's totally worth, especially if you want to reach maximum damage on dark vision, especially if you just miss lightning and the Venera, okay? But if you already have those two and what you need is for dark vision, I don't think you need this Kaktiria. So that's all for the normal form. Now let's talk about Brave Shift form. So Brave Shift form is where I kinda hate her. So let me repeat it again. She is not bad character. This is simply my rant to Gumi about few things. First, she only has triple cast. This is not a big problem if she is a character that only able to chain with physical chaining family like Stardust Ray, Mirror of Equity, and Bolting Strike. But the point here is she has Chaos Wave Awaken, and I can say it's quite good, okay? 80 times damage modifier, and the most important thing is it is flexible, which means if only she has that quad cast, then wow, she can become magic, superb magic chainer. Okay, I know that sounds OP, but if that's the case, they might as well remove this Chaos Wave Awaken move from her skill set, because basically with triple cast, I can say that it's kinda unusable combined with other mage, right? And instead making this half as Chaos Wave Awaken, just fix that Bolting Strike. Maybe you ask to me, what's the problem with Bolting Strike? On surface, her Bolting Strike doesn't have any problem, but she is forced to lock to water or earth element to her attack. I must say that the damage modifier is totally awesome. 107 times with water or earth damage boost. Definitely good. She can become one of the best chainer on the game. But again, they masked her with those lock elements. This is troll move by Gumi. I can totally understand if they don't give her quad cast Chaos Wave Awaken, but they also mess up with her Bolting Strike. It shouldn't be messed up like this, because you can say that flexible element for Chaos Wave Awaken is kinda OP at this point, but flexible on Bolting Strike chain, which is one of the physical chaining move, is not OP at all. My question is why they do this. It is obvious they want to mask this character. They simply hold back her on purpose. They are afraid to make her too powerful. And then they give her an avalanche kick. I don't know about the future, but right now, this avalanche kick feels like a nut kick to me. Okay? Again, this Bolting Strike is not a problem if you don't need to use certain element. But yeah, I hope you understand why I complain even when it seems she doesn't have problem at all. On this Brave Shift form, she still has most of her breaks. She also has 90% attack magic break, which lasts for 5 turns. So yes, it is nice setup for the first turn if you need strong attack and magic break. Her Brave Shift also break 87% all stats to all enemies for 5 turns. However, there is a little bit problem with her Brave Shift. Okay, she doesn't have any limit burst damage boost on her Brave Shift passives. So yes, you can equip limit burst damage boost on your ability slot, but again, what about limit burst regen and facial review rate? Because I don't think you can max those stats on her. Okay, for buffs, she can use her cooldown ability. Luckily, she has true Brave Shift form, which means you can stay on normal form, where you can gear her with limit burst regen, and then go back to Brave Shift immediately when you are ready to use your limit burst and break the enemy. So that's all for the Brave Shift form. Overall, I can say it's great, but really guys, I don't think you need this Brave Shift form that much. Okay, even her normal form is really sufficient if what you need is a breaker. Okay, because like you can see that her chaining is kinda annoying, but that's just me. So enough about Brave Shift, and let's talk about equipment. So for equipment, normal form need limit burst regen and facial limit burst fuel rate. Okay, you don't need magic stats because yes, her magic attack on normal form is non-existent basically. Okay, so simply focus on limit burst regen and facial review rate. So you can also use your Brave Shift limit burst without worrying. Okay, on Brave Shift form, what you want to equip is limit burst damage boost, because I can say that sure, her bolting strike chain is amazing, but again, the real damage on Brave Shift form comes from her limit burst. And with 450% limit burst damage, you deal like 660 times, which is not bad, okay, but not top tier damage. Remember that she has that 50% earth and water damage boost, so make sure you use those ability first if you want to use those elements. Okay, and remember this limit burst also flexible, so you can change your secondary weapon to match the element with your enemies or partner. Okay, and sure, she doesn't have any limit burst damage boost passive, but since she already has nice magic stats and maximum true dual wield magic, I can say that you can, yeah, the spare ability slot for magic and true dual wield can be replaced with limit burst damage boost. Okay, so very nice. And remember, because I really cannot say, but she uses physical killers even when she is magical attacker. Okay, so remember to equip physical killers if you want to use her on certain battle. Okay, so that's for equipment. My conclusion for Kaktiria. So even after I complain, I can still say that she is the best all stats breaker. Why I say all stats breaker? Because for individual breaker, I can say that yes, you know, Finera 90% defense break, Sephiroth Soul Lightning 90% spirit. So it's clear they are better than Kaktiria. But those characters cannot break your enemy's attack and magic like this Kaktiria, as good as Kaktiria, I mean. Okay, so yes, she is the best breaker at this point, even when after all those complaints. Actually, that's not a real complaint, but yeah, I hope you guys understand. Okay, she is not a bad character, but Gumi, why you holding back so much? Okay, so much, sorry. And yes, she can maintain that 87% breaks limit burst quite easily as long as you have 12 limit burst gauge per turn. It is easy. You can simply equip Lumina, Cloud, or whatever. Okay, very easy. And yes, she has that nice 135% imperil. So again, it's above meta and able to imbue. So useful for dark vision when, yeah, water and earth, not wind. Okay, sorry, water and earth element. I forgot. Sorry. And yes, the thing I don't like is, like I have said, troll combination for Chaos Wave Awaken and Bolting Strike elements. Oh, I hate you so much, Gumi. And for STMR, it's kind of niche. Only 2 Neo Vision Mage who can use it based on what I can remember, okay? Darkfina and Soul and Kaktiria. But overall, this one is good, okay? Because this also gives you killer. So, yes, if you want to use her, then you better get this STMR. But her normal form, definitely don't need this. Okay? And for vision card, I can say this vision card is not good. Because it is niche. It is magic fist. So only useful for niche mage. Darkfina Soul and herself, this vision card. And the abilities boosts are also ordinary. Only like magic boost, 120% magic boost at level 10. Some characters, some vision card gives you like 50% limit burst damage on level 10 ability. So this one feels like pretty mediocre. Okay, so I think that's all you need to know about Kaktiria. If you ask me, should you get her, then it depends. If you have access to 85% breakers, I don't think you need her. Okay? You may get her, it will be nice, but you don't have to. But if you already have, like, let's say, Lock, Savior of Soul Lightning, Finera, you have those 3 characters, you definitely don't need her. Okay, so I think that's all you need to know about Kaktiria. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Final Fantasy Private Experience Guide. Bye bye guys!